Say what you like about them, the majority of them are really good for us, but they get a really bad press. They make up a vast natural world all around us. They've made it as far as the northern ice packs, and they colonize the hottest of deserts. They are everywhere. Now, we are not just humans. Would you believe we are a multitudinous, microscopic menagerie of microbes that make up our microbiome? Now, that's a whole world of bugs to you and me. Some live on our skin, and most are within us. And we all exist in a symbiosis. 350 years ago, a tailor called Leeuwenhoek crafted a superior lens for his day. And this was at a time when the astronomers like Galileo were discovering amazing things way out in the universe, like little moons orbiting the planet of Jupiter, miles out in space. Meanwhile, back in Holland, our couturier, Herr Leeuwenhoek, was crafting a special lens of his own and turning it inwards to look at everyday things. And he was amazed at what he saw. He saw whole new worlds, worlds within worlds, of little microscopic animals, and they were crawling everywhere. They were on the, he could see, so it's similar to looking at our world from outer space. All you can see is a bright spot in the vastness of the universe. Next, imagine yourself coming a bit closer to home. And you'd be sitting on the International Space Station in the viewing gallery there. You'd be able to see a lot more. You'd be able to see the thin blue line that keeps our atmosphere in. You'd be able to see the land from the sea, maybe the mountains and the rivers, but you wouldn't be able to see any humans. Zooming in a bit more, you'd have to zoom in a bit more, in fact, to see these humans. And when you did, you'd be able to see them stacked up on each other in the cities. They'd be spread out in the countryside more. And they make in their homes in all the diverse places. They are abundant, and yet they are invisible from space. And that was a bit like the, I wanted you to picture, to take a view of microscopic vision. Just picture it now, seeing these little animals that Mr. Leeuwenhoek saw. They would be swarming all over the seat, the back of the seat there. They might have been on the handle of the door that you came in. You wouldn't have wanted to touch them. But you didn't see them, did you? It's like the humans that you can't see from space. A couple of facts. There are more microbes in our stomach than there are stars in the galaxy. Wow. 1 gram of our poo contains more bacteria than there are people on Earth. Talking about excrement, our little Jenny goes up to her daddy, wanting to know where poo comes from. Daddy felt a bit perturbed by this, because it's a bit of a difficult question, but he thinks about it. And then he says, remember that picture of a bacteria that you brought home from school, all arms and legs and everything? Yes, says Jenny. He said, well, and you know how we had breakfast this morning? And it went into her mouth and into her stomach. Yes, Daddy, she says. Well, that bacteria and lots more meet that food in your stomach, and they churn it all up, and they take out the vitamins and the minerals and the energy that make us good and healthy. But there's a bit left over, the stuff it can't use, so that carries on down your stomach, and the bacteria go with it, churning it up and turning it into feces. Now, feces is the proper word for the poo that comes out of your bottom when you go to the toilet. Jenny looks at her daddy aghast and says, an Eeyore? What about Eeyore? Bacteria are usually associated with poor health and hygiene. We can get quite fanatical. We wash, we scrub, we clean. We sterilize our homes. But does all this activity help or hinder? Because experts think this is causing a rise in our allergies like hay fever and asthma. I would say definitely continue to use the hand gels if you're visiting somebody in hospital, because patients there often have compromised immune systems. And also, if your doctor wants you to take medicines like antibiotics, then I should just do it, because don't listen to me. There must be a good reason for it. Our bodies are made up of millions of microbes, but only a small percent of them are potentially going to cause us harm. Yet if we set about killing off every one of them every time we get a sore throat, the good bacteria get killed off too. Did you know that 1 person in every 4 takes antibiotics at least once a year for colds? Now, colds are mostly not even caused by bacteria. They're caused by viruses. And how many of us realise that antibiotics have no effect on viruses at all? No effect. Most of the bugs in our body actually protect us from disease. If we end up killing them off by overuse of antibiotics, it gives space and opportunity for the bad bacteria to become dominant, which will lead to poor digestion, maybe celiac disease, diarrhea and vomiting, constipation even. Almost nothing influences our good gut bugs as much as the food we eat does. Plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables is what they like. These are the prebiotics. They also like the probiotics that you get in the live yogurts that got the live bugs in. Can it be that I gave my husband a yogurt with something called Acti-regularis in it? Oh no. Anyway, avoid overuse of antibiotics where possible. Cleanliness is good, excessive cleanliness is not. Avoid stress, consume food in a calm, mindful state, and chew it really well. I'm pondering a moment what a world without microbes would be like. A world without microbes would be a dead world. Ruminants like cows and sheep would die. We would all become ill. Rubbish would pile up in the streets because nothing would ever decay. And there would be no wine or beer. Good bacteria do us good. Feed them well. And never forget that we are a moving mass of microbes. Be aware of what we're doing to them. Make the most of them. Let them work to our benefit. And naturally, I urge you to nurture those bugs in our bodies.